That clarion call to action. Get involved here in the city. It's not so much what Paterson can do for you, but what you can do for Paterson. So at this time, I'm proud to announce the founder of the Citizens Campaign, a gentleman I've known for quite some time when I was a councilman sitting right behind my podium here, and we worked on projects together, whether it was health insurance, sustainable Jersey, or other progressive measures to improve the way that government functions in the city of Paterson. So I'm profoundly grateful to Harry Puzicki, who is indeed a visionary, and to me is the personification of good government, the man who's introduced that no-blame approach to government, only solutions. That's what we should be seeking in this city. So at this time, please join me in welcoming the founder of the Citizens Campaign, Mr. Harry Puzicki. Thanks for joining us in Paterson today.
Thank you, Mayor. Drove all the way up from Perth Amboy to Paterson to just have praise heaped on me by the wonderful Mayor Saya. All kidding aside, we're working in 6 cities right now with civic trustees on the issue of the coronavirus. And I texted the mayor after meeting with his crew. I was so impressed with the quality of individuals that he has on his frontline team to prepare Paterson to return to work. And so it is a pleasure to join with the mayor in a campaign to enlist all of the Paterson residents in the fight to beat COVID. And that's going to be the name of the campaign, the Beat COVID campaign. We're touching the community spirit. Beginning of it will be that the Paterson Civic Trustees and the Citizens Campaign will donate several hundred of these disposable masks, which will have the Paterson logo on it and the inscription Beat COVID, so that those public officials in Camden who are out in the public on a regular basis, essential personnel, be able to drum up the community spirit. But we're not going to stop there. We're going to work with the city and with the chief to be able to raise funds for masks, particularly to be distributed to areas in need where there may not be the economic ability to afford masks on a multiple basis and where we want everyone to be able to protect themselves. In addition to that, if we're going to get the spirit up, we've got to have a playbook. And the playbook is being assembled right now. And what it consists of basically is the best prevention practices, but broken down in an index of activities and made user-friendly and simple in their language. So for any particular normal activity, whether you're going to the grocery store or you're taking takeout food or you're going out to recreate, you'll have the bullets 1, 2, 3. That's what you need to do, readily available. And importantly, toward that end, we're going to have to communicate those standard health procedures so that they're not only coordinated among all of the different major entities in the city with large constituencies, but they're communicated on a consistent and repetitious basis until everyone understands the plays of the game. If the resident is going into the business protocols have to be understood by the residents. It's not enough for the retail owner to understand them. So if the city as a whole speaks with one voice as to what the plays are for residents and retail businesses to prevent the spread of the virus, then we're going to have a better chance to beat COVID. And recruitment, the mayor referred to the fact that some of the CERT team members, those are community emergency response team members, may be applied toward tracing, and we'll certainly be helping in the recruitment of tracers who have the heart and soul of Paterson deep within them, so that when they're calling another resident, they're recognized as a person who's in the same situation and able to breach language barriers and trust barriers so that there is effective tracing. Also volunteers, we said, to distribute masks and food as well. And last but not least, as the mayor made reference to, we're going to work with the mayor to organize a corona control task force. This will be a task force made up of the city, but also other institutions with large constituencies in the city who will meet together to make sure that their health protocols that they're communicating are at least consistent across the board. So again, the city will speak with one voice, have one playbook, and hopefully have the kind of spirit that Beat COVID implies. So that's essentially what the team will be doing, and I just wanted to take a minute to introduce one of the Paterson Civic Trustees to tell you a little bit about why he's part of this campaign. If everybody would be happy to, or be kind enough to meet David Lowe. Dave.
Thank you very much, Mr. Basicki. It's a pleasure to be here. I'd like to thank the Mayor, Sayer, for his due diligence in creating unity in the community, bringing people out, his openness, which we're really happy for and we really need it at this time. Just a brief message as a trustee, civic trustee, and one of many civic trustees. We want to encourage people to get involved. As the Mayor said, this is the opportunity now for those who are on the sidelines and really feel like they want to do something to step forward. As Paterson Civic Trustees, we take a pledge to leave our city and country better than we found them. We do so by identifying, adapting, and advancing evidence-based solutions to major challenges facing our city, working as problem solvers, partnering with city officials. There is no greater or more important challenge before us today than the pandemic, COVID-19. Therefore, we look forward to working with Mayor Sayer and his public health and emergency response leaders to ensure a smart and concerted effort to beat COVID-19. Working together as a community is the best way, we feel, to protect our health and safety and open our city up once again for its businesses. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dave. I'm glad that you're volunteering your time for this effort. There's a lot of talent in Paterson, and we want to tap into that talent, and we're enlisting individuals who are interested in assisting those who are really in need. So when we talk about distributing quarantine kits, masks, as was demonstrated by Harry, that will have the city's logo and Beat COVID inscribed upon it, we want you to get involved with us, because this is a total team effort requiring everyone to give every ounce of energy and whatever ideas that they have that they want to implement here to improve the situation. We are receptive to it. But creating a task force, creating a relief fund, that's going to really provide the injection that we need in this city as far as improving this overall condition in Paterson. So someone who's been on the front line since day one, who I believe is the embodiment of pandemic preparedness, who had the foresight to order an ample supply of personal protection equipment, and also made sure that we have decontamination areas, and also made sure that our first responders would be a part of our first phase of testing in the city, and that's Chief Brian McDermott.
Thank you, Mayor. Harry, Dave, thank you very much for bringing your talents to us. Now it's time to call to Paterson for volunteerism. You know, help us to help you. We'll get the word out. We'll get these pandemic kits out. We'll get masks out to the city. We need to enlist volunteers to help us do this. It's a very big city, a lot of people to handle, and, you know, many hands make light work, and that's what we need here. So with the help of our new partners here behind us and the support of the administration, we're going to get this done. We're going to beat COVID. I know through the City Department of Emergency Management, through the Fire Department, we're going to manage the relief fund, and we're going to take this to the next level as we manage the community emergency response team and come out and help out, and we'd really appreciate that. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have a number to call for volunteerism?
Yeah. So we are looking for recruits. This is an opportunity to enlist an individual, like we said, that provide assistance. People are going to need masks. People need meals. People will need these quarantine kits. There will be a relief fund. There will be a task force. There will be health protocols, because when we reopen our economy, like I stated before, we want to do it responsibly and make sure that everyone abides by the guidelines, because we have rewritten the rules as a result of this pandemic. So, Patterson, again, we're issuing a call to action and proud to announce a partnership with the Citizens Campaign as we combat COVID, and together we will defeat this virus. Thanks. Any questions? Danny? Well, I wouldn't say that there'd be a central office because we obviously don't want, well, if anything, we'd have the firehouse where the Office of Emergency Management is, but obviously we don't want too many people congregating. But let's say a task force would be comprised of, let's say, 12 people. Harry, do you want to field that one?
It's not a centralized operation that's envisioned. It's really getting Paterson residents to volunteer to become tracers. They may even be paid positions, hopefully, and that will be coordinated through the health department. So wherever the department is involved, that's where the application would go. The fire department may be distributing food or masks, so those helpers are different than tracers. So they'll divide according to specialty. I haven't gotten a goal yet in mind. Going to just do our best. That's what we can do right now. You know, the main thing is that I think that cities need to realize, as one of my mentors used to say, Austin Gums, don't be waiting, no one's coming for you. You know, we probably are going to get, we are definitely going to get help from the state and from the county and everything, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that Paterson residents can't be part of the front line in the fight against COVID themselves. So we're going to tap the spirit and see how far we can get with it. And we don't know how long it's going to go, so it's hard to estimate at this point. Pardon me? No, these volunteers would be used to distribute food, to distribute masks, especially to the economically challenged neighborhoods so that people can afford the good prevention measures there, to distribute quarantine kits so that when someone's been in contact with an infected person and can't go to a motel or go to a large residence where they're going to have a separate bedroom and so on, they'll at least have masks and disposable utensils and disinfectants and things like that to be able to maximize their preventative capabilities. So the distribution will be done based on the materials and the department that's coordinating them. We'll have at least on this end, and there's more I'm sure that the city has, but we'll have 300 masks in less than 2 weeks with the Beat COVID Patterson logo, you know, so we'll be underway that way. We may be able to get more soon without the logo, but I don't have anything definite on that at this time. Disposable, yeah, because if you're going to put them in economically challenged areas, you got to be able to make sure that they're going to have it continually, not just when there's some distribution.
And Chief mentioned quarantine kits. Are those going to be distributed at the same time or separate, or how's that?
Yeah, the goal should be when we drop off, let's say, for instance, a mask, we'll give you the quarantine kit with the disposable silverware or anything to clean your home, to disinfect your home. And if anyone is interested in getting involved, the number to call is 973-321-1497. Again, that number is 973-321-1497. There's a lot of talent in Patterson. We're just asking for you to volunteer your time, and you can provide the necessary assistance for those who are challenged the most by this conflict.
Where did the quarantine kits come from?
So we are exploring where we're going to purchase these kits. If Harry, you want to take that, please.
Again, this is an unwritten game right now, but the state is already committing that certain supplies, they haven't defined which, will be coming down to Patterson and other specified cities through a designated vendor. We don't know yet what those supplies are. Part of the partnership that we have with the city and in particular with the mayor will be to inform state officials about the unique features of city living that impact upon the coronavirus, and the problem with the city potentially becoming a generator if those issues are not dealt with. So, you know, we've heard in the past the governor refer to tracer advising someone they've been in contact and telling them that they need to quarantine for 2 weeks, and they've mentioned in motels. This is not necessarily going to work across the board. It'd be ideal if they can do it as much as possible. But if a person can't go for 2 weeks in a motel with no symptoms, has to take care of the family and so on, then they need to be able to quarantine at home. And so we have to educate the state that, you know, we need supplies for these types of quarantine kits, but we'll also be raising money ourselves and using whatever existing supplies. We got to ramp up as we go.
And Chief, you mentioned that this relief fund, is that going to be a city-administered fund or a citizens campaign fund?
As far as I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mayor, it's city-administered.
Yeah.
So this is a city-administered fund that'll be managed through the Office of Emergency Management, which is under the Fire Department. And I'll establish and set that up.
And how would that fund, would that just be used for this cert, or would it be a broader application?
Well, that's, I mean, we'll adapt to the situation. It could be broader, it could be for the actual cert itself, but we want to get it started because there have been a number of calls already about whether or not the city has a relief fund. So this is something we feel is, what's that? No, we don't have a relief fund at the present moment, so that's why this is absolutely imperative that we establish a relief fund for Paterson. I keep forgetting to take my mask off. Any other questions? So it's important to note that there are people in Paterson that want to get involved. You've called me, so now this is your opportunity. We need you to seize it. We need you to get involved, whether it's a task force, the relief fund, distributing disinfectants, distributing masks, anything you can do to contribute to the cause, because this is about all hands on deck. Not time to point fingers, but join hands and be a part of the solution in our city as we strive to defeat COVID-19.
That phone number, people who want to do contact tracing, they should pull that number?
Well, that's more so just to indicate whether or not you want to volunteer. Yeah. It's an umbrella. Yes, that is correct. That's it. I knew you'd appreciate that one. Thanks, Joe Malanconico. Thank you, everyone.